Welcome to Bible Journaling 66. Who was Jesus Christ? Part 3. In Part 1, we looked at historical evidence. And in Part 2, we looked at what people of his day thought about him. Today, many will say he was a wise man, a teacher. But some will claim he never said he was God. In this third episode, let's look at who Jesus claimed to be in the scriptures. Ancient Jews had only one name, like Moses or Abraham. But when greater specificity was needed, it was customary to add the father's name or the place of origin. Thus, in his lifetime, Jesus was called Jesus, son of Joseph, or Jesus bar Joseph, Jesus of Nazareth, or Jesus the Nazarene. After his death, he came to be called Jesus Christ. Christ was not originally a name, but a title derived from the Greek word Christos, which translates the Hebrew term Mashiach, or Messiah, meaning the Anointed One. So who did Jesus claim to be? For that answer, we'll have to go to the Bible. First, he is God in the flesh. Jesus said in John chapter 10, verse 30, I and the Father are one. At first glance, this might not seem to be a claim to be God. However, one look at the Jews' reaction to his statement will say something different. So let's turn to John 10, verses 30 and 33. I and my Father are one. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Jesus answered them, Many good works have I showed you from my Father. For which one of those works do ye stone me? The Jews answered him, saying, For a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself God. Let's look at another account. John chapter 8, verses 58 and 59. Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Verse 59 says, Then took they up stones to cast at him. But Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. Not only is that a miraculous disappearance, that he walked right through the midst of them, but why did they pick up the stones? Because he committed blasphemy before their ears. Blasphemy, you might say? Well, the Jews rejected Jesus' identity as God incarnate, but they understood exactly what he was saying. Turning to Exodus 3:14, Moses is speaking to God at the burning bush, and God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. In the very beginning of the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 1, it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And jumping down to verse 14, it says, "And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." That was the introduction to Jesus Christ in the Gospel of John. Jesus claimed the authority to forgive sins. Mark 2, verses 5 through 7. When Jesus saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, "Son, thy sins be forgiven thee." But there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, "Why doth this man thus speak blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God only?" Jesus assumed the authority to judge the world. In Mark 14, verses 61 through 62, it says, "But he held his peace and answered nothing. Again the high priest asked him and said unto him, Art thou the Christ, the Son of the Blessed? And Jesus said, I am. And ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven." Jesus also made it clear that one's attitude toward him would impact the end of their life. In Matthew 10, verses 32 to 33, it says, "Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven." Jesus claimed that to know him was to know God. In John 8, verse 19, "Then said they unto him, Where is thy Father? Jesus answered, Ye neither know me nor my Father. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also." And he claimed that to see him was to see God. In John 12:45, "And he that seeth me seeth him that sent me." And he claimed to receive him was to receive God. Mark 9:37, "Whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me receiveth not me, but him that sent me." The Old Testament was completed hundreds of years before Jesus was born. A large number of prophecies were made in astonishing detail by many people throughout these books. In fact, fulfilled prophecy is one of the distinguishing marks of the Bible, authenticating its claim to be the inspired Word of God. C.S. Lewis, in his book Mere Christianity, writes the following: "I am trying here to prevent anyone from saying the really foolish thing that people often say about him," speaking of Jesus Christ. "I'm ready to accept Jesus as a great moral teacher, but I don't accept his claim to be God. That is the one thing we must not say. A man who was merely a man and said the sort of things Jesus said would not be a great moral teacher. He would either be a lunatic on a level with a man who says he is a poached egg, or else he would be the devil of hell. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the Son of God, or else a madman or something worse. You can shut him up for a fool. You can spit at him and kill him as a demon. Or you can fall at his feet and call him Lord and God. But let us not come up with any patronizing nonsense about his being a great human teacher. He has not left that option open to us. He didn't intend to. In closing, allow me to share John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, Maranatha.